Okay, Sunday the 18th, and what is that? It's sun. Unfortunately, it's at the wrong end of the garden for me, but it's nice to actually see it. So today I'm going to do more repotting, and up first is another eucalyptus that I've got. So I'm going to do a quick spin and then I'll zoom in. As you can see, I went pretty drastic with this and did a massive chop. I'd assume the front's somewhere there towards the camera, but not sure. Right, let me get in a better position and we'll begin. Okay, if you can hear any snorting, it's not me, it's the dog who's just came out. I don't think the price is on this, £17.99. Eucalyptus Gunny Bush 2 litre pot. I think I recall when I bought this, it was a fair few feet high, and I just made an instant chop. So let's get this out and have a look. I do like how thick the trunk is, but we'll see what's going on underneath. I'm sure this is going to be in waterlogged soil as well. Come on. Doesn't want to come out the bottom. I think might be a couple of roots in the way. Yeah, a massive root there. Almost grown through. It has. It's grown through the pot. It's grown actually through the pot. Oh. Wow. You can see there's a big hole there, look. So we should be in for a good treat now. Wow. Let's have a look underneath. Yeah, there's the big one. Ooh. That's a lot of roots, thick and thin, and I've left my root hook inside. I'll be back. Okay. After my endeavours yesterday, I do have a root rake on its way. Until then, I'm stuck with this hook, and oh my life, this is matted. So it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. It's quite windy actually. So even though the sun is out, I'm pretty wrapped up. And also, the water from underneath the table has just dripped right onto my leg. Happy Sunday. So, had a busy Sunday, up early as per. Ate, went to the gym, nipped into town, ate again. Picked up a 40 litre storage box to mix my, what was it, 30 litres? I think it's 30 litres. From B&M, £5. Get my perlite and cocoa coir mixed in. I've got a couple of weeks yet until I need to worry about transplanting the seeds from the refrigerator. This table's bloody rickety. Right. I'm going to continue to pull these through. It's interesting. Yesterday I had a couple that just popped out and the roots were not the best, but the soil just dropped away and it was pretty light work doing what I needed to do. And then now and again you get one like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy there's lots of roots, but it's going to be a bit of a pain. So you can see that trunk, we've got an extra inch already, and who knows the further I go, which, you know, it's not going to change the look of the tree now because we've got two spindly little branches, but there you go, there's the wind for you. It could well change the look of the tree in another year or two, or 3, or 4. Right, I'm going to get these combed out. You don't need to watch that. I'll be back. Okay, so I've got a hell of a lot of soil and roots off, and I'm down to this at the moment. I'm going to contradict what I said yesterday. After all of this, I'm going to have to get it in a bowl and give it a bit of a rinse. For no other reason than it's in like this soil has turned to mud and it's caked on the tree, and with an individual prong it's proving very, very difficult to go much deeper than this. So that's the next step. I'm going to grab a bucket, put some water in it, and I'll give them a rinse. Well, there's some bad boys on this. An enormous taproot. That must have been the thing that was going down another 4 inches through the bottom of the pot. We've got roots up here circling around that look like they may have now fused with the tree, but let's start with what I know is coming off, and it's certainly this enormous taproot. I'm just going to zoom the camera out a little bit. That should do us nicely. In fact, I'm also going to get my branch cutters from in here. Do you know what? The wind today, even though the sun's out, makes it even colder than yesterday. Right, sorry about that. Okay, let's get stuck into this. So straight away I need to reduce the bottom of this tree. I mean, even that. It's just a really, really matted bunch of fine roots that have got, still now after scraping it through several times and rinsing it quite thoroughly, it's still an absolute jungle. I mean, you can see it's full of these little yellow fertilizer pellets, and I don't know if they're the reason why the roots are so strong, but if they are, they've done a fantastic job. So, plenty of roots to choose from. Unfortunately, being an absolute novice, I might relish those choices. Right, let me give it one last rinse. Still mayhem in there. Right, so let's get rid of some obvious ones firstly. Anything that's going around the trunk, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera angle slightly. So my arm's not totally blocking the view. So we've got one there. It's wrapping around. Quite hard to see where its origin is though. There we go, got it. So that's going. Gone. You can see here, look, hopefully, there's one that's wrapped around, and I think that's bedded in. Might just trace it around. Yeah, there's quite a few. Don't know if you'll be able to see. Here, look, they're all sort of embedded in. So let me go back to my original plan of getting rid of the problems. And then hopefully, by getting rid of the problems, the solution will present itself. Here's a good example, look. That one there, that's beginning to wrap around. Quite a big chunky one stemming from here. So I'll find the base. Gone. There's another one wrapping around underneath. That does look... Oh my gosh, there's so many wrapping around. This it wasn't even the one that I wanted to find, but that one is a nuisance. So let's get... Where's the origin of that? Somewhere in there, there we go. I find this whole process quite frustrating because I understand its importance and I see trees that have got fantastic looking root systems that the owners have spent, you know, years developing, and it's just still now, after watching so many hours on YouTube. Wow, look at this one, there's a good example. That wraps, I didn't even see it. How I didn't see it now, given it's blatantly obvious, that wraps all the way around. And it's beginning to merge with the tree, so I'll get rid of that one. Yeah, I've watched so many videos and it's still totally alien to me. So I just wing it as best as I can, and I guess the primary aim is that it stays alive more than anything else. So there's still, I'm going to get rid of more of the bottom. It's still too big. I don't need it. It's just going to cause it to have to go in a deeper pot than it needs to. So let's get stuck into that. Who knows? Maybe that will give me an answer. Nope. So, what I've got is probably 4 or 5 different tiers of roots. On a positive, you know, they're quite radial. You can see that quite clearly. But it's just, do I need them at so many different heights? Certainly don't need that one. So what I'm doing here is just snipping away any obvious issues. I don't know if you can hear that rattling in the background. It sounds exactly to me like the dog pushing at the back door. I keep turning around to check. Do you know what? I want to get rid of another inch off this bottom. If it kills the tree, it kills the tree. What did it cost? 15 quid, 17 quid or something? Just on that. So I wanted the eucalyptus. And I mean, I've got two. I did a video on one yesterday. And neither of them are great. But I'd visited so many garden centres, and the stock that they had, they were best of a very, very, very bad bunch, and I probably should have just walked away. But I had it in my head that I really wanted one. And I'm very, very impatient when I want something, rather than waiting. I bought two, both from different garden centres actually. Okay, this is now actually no, it still looks a mess. Who am I trying to kid? I was going to say it's starting to take shape. Is it? We've still got roots crossing. I mean, it's a textbook catastrophe. Though, I guess the basic structure's there. I mean, you know, that looks, there's a good circumference there. Nice and shallow now too. Do you know what? I'm talking myself into liking this. Don't want to get too gung-ho with the fine roots either, because they're the ones that are going to help it recover. I mean, it doesn't have many actually, thinking about it. It's got a lot of big beefy ones. But the problem is the fine ones are part of the problem. You see, I'm still able to get more soil away from it. It's had a solid start to life. I don't know how old these are. If you've got any idea, please let me know. So, there's probably too many of these roots, these thick ones. But in time, hopefully I can be a little bit more... Sorry, I'm getting rid of you, mate. You're too big. I can be a bit more aggressive. You know, this is chaotic. And actually, I do need to get rid of something there to add a bit of space. Let's get rid of that big one. That one's growing sideways. Do I want to get rid of it? Yeah, why not? Why not? What's the worst that can happen? It dies. There's one less tree for me to worry about. Just want to get rid of anything pointing straight down. Within reason, anyway. Can't be too picky, unfortunately. And any roots that are pointing straight up, And I've got a big right angle in like this one, look. Don't really want that bend. I mean, that's not got much growing off it at all. I'll snip it back to there actually. That one as well. I'll snip it just before the right angle. It's got a couple of roots growing from it. Back in the water. The irony yesterday of me saying I don't know why people use water on their trees when they're doing root work. Now I absolutely do understand. So you can see here, look, that root where my finger is, I bring it really close. It's actually started near my thumb and it's come around, but now it's absolutely embedded. Or, actually looking at it, it's like the opposite's happened. It looked like two roots came from that point. One came around this way, and that's the other one. I must confess, I'm looking forward to when the sun actually hits the full garden in a few more weeks, and I can get a suntan while I'm doing this. I think I'm about there. So that's it from underneath. Actually, looking on the camera as I take this film, that's very, very radial, very flat. And also, it's interesting, looking through the camera, I can see different problems than I can actually with my eyes. Like this one here, that's quite high. So I'm going to get rid of it. There's plenty underneath. So that's the last question then, I think. That big one. It's a big old boy. Actually, there's nothing, absolutely nothing fine coming off it. So that one can go. That's a chilly breeze. I think I can get another ½ an inch off that stump at the bottom. There we go. Do you know what? That's quite nice. And that is not a bad looking trunk. I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to leave that little nub on. Why not? Right then, now the question is what I'm going to pop this in. I'll be back. So, same as the other eucalyptus that I did yesterday. I'm just going to make use of its pot. It will have plenty of room in there. Ooh, I have to trim the roots slightly to get it in. That'll do. Right. Same old plan. In fact, I'm not going to wire this. The roots, the holes in the bottom aren't too big, so I'm not going to put any gauze in this. However, I am going to pop some wire in to secure it in place. It'd be a shame to do all this work and then the tree falls out of the pot if there's some wind or something. So I was reading an article yesterday. I don't know if you just heard that siren, it just popped in my head. I was reading an article yesterday that said whatever you do, make sure when you're recording a video you avoid the sound of sirens, because it might cause people to think, oh, I wonder what's going on, I wonder who needs help. Like, you can hear all sorts here. Planes just flown, taken off, sirens because there's an ambulance, I guess, depot where they all waiting for the call just around the corner. It's probably enough. You know what, that looks really, really, really nice, even if I say so myself. No, getting it lined up so the wires will meet fairly nicely across the roots. That's good. Throw some soil in. And then, of course, I've left something else inside, my little prodder. There we go. I am back. Right, so same again. I'm going to embed the soil as much as I can within the roots initially, and then I will wire it in. Do you know what? I mean, it's never going to be a great tree, I don't imagine. But I quite enjoyed this. Who knows? Maybe the more I repot things, I know it's a necessary evil, but will it turn into something I actually enjoy? Who the hell knows? Right then, so piece of wire number one, wrap across, twist, and then get the pliers out. So this should, there's such a mass of roots, this should not take much to get it secure in this pot. Not like the hemlock that I did yesterday. I mean, there you go, look at that, that's just been done loosely, and yeah, it's nice. Give it a couple more. And do you know what? I'm not going to bother with the other. I'm not going to bother tightening with the other wire. It's there if I need it, if anything happens, but who knows, maybe after I push the saw through a second time I might change my mind, but as I was saying, yeah, the article I was reading was talking about making sure there's no outside noise in your videos, which is a bit of a challenge when you are outdoors. But then I have to keep catching myself, because at the start I said to myself, these videos are not, you know, it's nice if anybody watches them, and you know, a couple of people do, and will leave comments, but it's ultimately for me to look back on in the future and track my journey, not to get views and subscribers. Right then, I'm there. So it was buried up to there, so we've got an extra inch that's visible. With time, who knows, that can never be the front because of that gaping wound. So that will be the front, just about there to camera, there or thereabouts. Is it sturdy? Yeah, happy with that. I mean, who knows? I don't know anything about the eucalyptus tree. Hopefully come proper spring, when it gets some good sunshine on it, we will yeah, we'll see something quite rewarding. Don't know. Anyway, if you've watched this, thank you very much.